Hey Amelia, hey Gon, hey Peter, hey Steven. Hey, so last time we talked about the ways that we measure different aspects of the weather. We talked about temperature, which is how hot or cold something is, and that we measure temperature using a thermometer. The next thing we talked about was rainfall and how we measure rainfall and its importance. What do we use to measure rainfall? We use a rain gauge. That's right. So now we're going to be easing our way into the next section, which is predicting the weather, or as they say in the weather industry, making a forecast. How do we make a forecast? Well, we use all the information that we've been given, that we have collected, from temperature to wind to rainfall, and making a guess as to what will happen next. Now keep in mind, this was going to be our project for the weekend. Okay, so how do we predict things? Well, as your book says, scientists observe and track weather over time. They look for changes in weather. They use tools to learn what the weather may be. Scientists use what they learn to make weather report. A weather report helps people. They can get ready for the coming weather. Okay, so the next big tool that we use is something called a weather satellite. If you know what a satellite is, it's something that surrounds the Earth and flies around it in what is called an orbit. Imagine just a tiny little thing around the big globe of the Earth. This satellite can track all the cloud movements over the Earth. It can track temperature in different areas. It can track the kind of weather that's going on, whether it be rainy or hot or cold or sunny. And we use that to help us predict what's going to go on. Now, let's do a little math here. So using a thermometer or having read it on a report, a weather report, we saw that on Monday there was a temperature of 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, on Tuesday, it was cloudy and it was 40 degrees Fahrenheit. What is the difference in temperature there? We had a bright sunny day on Monday at 50 degrees, but then a cloudy day on Tuesday for 40 degrees. That's a difference of 10 degrees cooler. But then the next day, we have a thunderstorm with lots of rain, and it's at 45 degrees Fahrenheit. What's the change? Well, it got 5 degrees hotter. Now, let's turn to the next page. Look at the temperatures on the left. Write one of them in the empty box below. Write greater than, less than, or equal to compare the two numbers. Well, let's go ahead and pick 40 degrees. So I'm going to write in 40. Let me make the font bigger so everyone can read it. 40 degrees. So is 45 degrees, is that bigger greater than or smaller, less than 40 degrees, or is it equal to? Well, 45 is 5 more than 40, so it is greater than. Darken that up so we can see it. But let's go back a little bit. What if we picked 50 degrees? Well, 50 is 5 more than 45. So this time the bigger number is over here. And therefore, 45 is less than 50. Do I need to put what happens when it's 45 degrees over here? No, that's when we have equal temperatures. All right, so what else do we use? We use these tools and observe, track weather. We use a weather station. Weather station is where they keep all the computers and maps and things to put all the information that we get from satellites and people on the field. And we also use weather balloons to go up and test for pressure. Don't worry about that one. Okay, so going back on everything, we use different things to help with weather, and everything helps us make a weather report to help us predict the weather. So first thing that we used a thermometer to gauge the temperature. We used a rain gauge to gauge the amount of water in rainfall. And we used weather satellites to make a map of the Earth's surface and to tell us all the information like temperature, wind speed, cloud cover. And then we compile it all with a weather station and a weather balloon. Now, I am going to talk about a project that we're going to do. We are going to make our own weather report. I want you all to maintain your own little journal with the day's weather report for 6 days. So every day, pick a single time to put in or find out the temperature of the day, fill in the thermometer like we did in our book with the temperature that you learned. Since we're in Korea, we will be using Celsius. You can ask your parents to find out the temperature on your phone. And also, I want you to draw a picture of the weather. Is it sunny? Is it cloudy? Is it snowy? I want you to have a little bit of fun with that. You don't have to print this out, although it is available on the website. You can write it or draw it in a notebook and show it to me on Monday. We're going to try to make our own prediction after 6 days of getting information. Also, after this video, I will have an example of a weather report for Korea. I want you to go ahead and watch it. Maybe a little bit boring, but also there is a video on how to make your own weather report. And that one's much more entertaining. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.